day, my name is Midshipman Alvin Elixir, and today I will discuss steering control. Ship steering control. Ship refers to the vessel, and steering refers to the control of the course. What is ship steering control? Ship steering control is a system used for steering the ship. It is constant when the ship is underway or when the ship is moving at sea. Any failure or malfunction with the use of steering control may harm the people or the crew of the ship and the vessel itself. A steering gear, a control equipment, a rudder carrier, a rudder, a horn, example parts of a steering system. An autopilot or a pilot is a mechanical, hydraulic, or electrical system which can maintain a set course without the manipulation of an officer on board. The autopilot relieved the crew in steering the ship manually. Autopilot is more user-friendly because of two reasons. One is it increases speed, and two is its lower fuel cost consumption. Autopilot does not replace the helmsman, but it is assisting them in operating the course of the ship.
Good day. My name is Midshipman Jose Alvis Michelet M. Lumbu. Today I will discuss about autopilot. What is working principle of autopilot system? An output from a gyromagnetic repeating compass is coupled to a different amplifier along with a signal derived from a manual course setting control. If no difference exists between the two signals, new output will be produced by the amplifier and new movement of the rudder occurs. When a difference is detected between the two sources of data, an output error signal proportional and magnitude to the size of the difference is applied the heading and error amplifier. Periodic check of navigational equipment. Operational tests of shipboard navigational equipment carried out at sea, frequently as the practicable and as circumstances permit. In particular, when hazardous conditions affecting navigations are expected. Where are appropriate, these tests should be recorded. The officer of the watch should make sure that regular checks to ensure that the helmsman or the automatic pilot steering that correct course. The starboard compass error is determined at least once a watch and, when possible, after any major alterations of course the standard and gyro. Compasses are frequently compared and repeaters are synchronized with their master compass. The automatic pilot is tested manually at least once on a watch. Output of this amplifier is coupled to the rudder actuator circuit, which causes the rudder to move in direction determined by the sign of output voltage. The error signal between compass and selected course inputs produce an output voltage from the differential amplifier that is proportional to the course error. This type proportional control only causes the vessel oscillate either sides of its intended course due to inertia producing overshooting. Autopilot. The officer of the watch should bear in mind the necessity to comply at all times with the requirements of Regulation 19 Chapter 5 of the International Convention for the Safety of Life at Sea 1972. The officer of the watch should take into account for need to station the helmsman and to put steering into manual control in good time to allow any potentially hazardous situation to be dealt with in a safe manner. With a ship under automatic steering, it is highly dangerous to allow situation to develop to the point where the officer of the watch is without assistance and has to break continuity of the lookout in order to take emergency action. The changeover from automatic to manual steering and vice versa should be made by or under the supervision of responsible officer.
Procedures for changeover from auto to manual steering. The change from automatic to manual steering or vice versa shall be made by or under a supervision of a responsible officer. Manual steering shall be tested after prolonged use of the automatic pilot before entering the areas where the navigation demands special caution. Set the auto steering controls are required for the given weather and loading conditions. Turn the auto course setting pointer to the course to be steered. Procedures to change from automatic to manual steering. First, steer the vessel by hand until she is ready on the course to be steered. Second, keep the rudder exactly amidship. Ensure this by observing the rudder indicator. Third, at this instant, the ship course should be dead steady in swinging off the course at all. Fourth, turn the auto manual switch to auto. Fifth, observe the steering to confirm that the rudder is being applied correctly when the ship off courses. Lastly, compare the gyro and magnetic compass course and record the reading.
Letter B. Course monitor. Off-course alarm and operation of course recorder. This, when provided, can perform a useful course autopilot monitoring function. They provide a paper trace of course against time, and I have an off-course alarm facility which can be set to warn if the vessel strays more than set number of degrees of course. When linked to be a magnetic compass, it can prove extremely useful in detecting a slow off-course drift in the gyro controlling the autopilot. This would not be the case where the alarm is linked to the same gyro as the autopilot.
Letter C. List of alarm fitted to the system. Steering gear system is the most official system on board, and steering tests to be carried out as per guidelines to check steering position indicator, linkage, etc. Power failure alarm for the remote steering gear control. Power unit failure alarm for the steering gear unit. Automatic isolation arrangement another.
Steering gear testing prior departure and should test it once per watch. Test the steering gear before entering or getting underway. Have to be completed during stays in port, between voyages or passages. A test to be carried out within 12 hours of the estimated time of standby departure.
Letter E. Regulation regarding the use of automatic pilot and recommendation of performance. Within limits are related to vessel maneuverability, the source of heading information should enable a vessel to keep a present course with minimum operation of the vessel's steering gear. The automatic pilot equipment should be capable of adapting a different steering characteristic of the vessel under various weather and loading conditions and normal operational conditions.
Letter F. Regular check to ensure that steering course is correct. During the watch, the course third position and speed shall be checked at all times. To ensure that the ship follow the intended planned course, the officer in charge of the navigational watch shall make regular check to ensure the automatic pilot is steering the correct course.
Factors to take into account regarding changing over to manual control to deal with potentially hazardous situation. It need to station the helmsman and to put the steering into manual control in good condition to allow any potentially hazardous situation to dealt within a safe manner. With ship under automatic steering, it is highly dangerous to allow situation where the officer of the watch is without assistance and has to break continuity of the lookout in order to take emergency situation. The change over from automatic to manual steering and vice versa is under the supervision of a responsible officer.